How we doing, folks? Austin here, going through Foxbody Mustang. How I paid too much, how I got ripped off, progress, what we've done so far today, and what the future holds for tomorrow. So, as we begin, pre-COVID, I bought a 1989 Foxbody from a guy up in North Oregon area near Portland. And the guy talked to me about it pretty extensively. Everything else, had a long list of mods. Now, a few other things too. I didn't know what I was talking about at all. I was very rookie when it came to Foxbody Mustangs. I had no idea, honestly, what to look at, except for what the internet told me to look for. So, shock towers, things like that. Any visible rust, anything like that. So, the previous owner had stated that he had a 347 stroker in the actual car itself. Car had 44,000 original miles. It wasn't perfect by no means. I'll throw some pictures up there. However, it sounded fantastic. E-Series cam, GT40 intake, upper and lower intake. And at the end of the day, it was still a 4-lug with virtually nothing done to it for the most part. Seatbelts didn't work. It had a huge cowl hood on it, which was fantastic. Looked badass. However, at the end of the day, I got hosed. I paid too much. You'll see a common theme when I talk about this car quite a bit on how expensive it was and how I got taken advantage of. So just stick around for that. As we began on this project, it started just with simply subframe connectors, and it spawned into an actual beast of a build for the most part. That's taken actually not that long. I started this project back in April, had the car for 2 years, bought it pre-COVID, and I love the way the Foxbody looks. It was a fantastic platform for me just to learn and to start this process and everything else. I would not have been nearly as far as I am today without the help of James. This is his shop, and he's got anything and everything you can imagine. He's a paint and body guy by trade, and our paths crossed in previous careers. And to be honest with you, he's been really fantastic with me, letting me do everything on this build that I can. He's teaching me along the way. And as we go through here, you'll see some things that I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm not a welder, as you've seen in previous videos. It's fun to do. I do my best, but James is actually the true professional here. So just taking a quick look. Again, as you can see, most everything is off the car as of right now. You can see some plug welds that we've done. Previous video, again, for some reason the owner put a nasty hole in there for the intake. Really, really ghetto. But again, we're going to focus on fixing that down the road. Roller wheels, originally had 4-lug. I did a 5-lug conversion all the way around using SN95 spindles up front and Foxbody stock lengthwise axles in the rear. Those are Yukon axles. This is that point to where my camera died, and we go to day 2. I got to start off with Stifflers Subframe Connectors. Fantastic product. One thing about it is that I've done a tremendous amount of research because I want to buy the right part the first time. And sometimes you fail when it comes to that. You choose the wrong piece and everything else. However, there's been a lot of good sources around the internet. And honestly, people that are used to Foxbody Mustangs, this platform's been around for a long period of time. There's a lot of proven parts that have been sold. There's also some that really don't matter too much, but when it came down to it, rigidity is the first piece of this build that I wanted to make sure we were successful with. And so focusing on that was number one. So I bought these direct off of Stifflers, and I ended up getting their webs as well, just for some added support. Will I need it? Probably not. However, every time I'd get on this car, everything would flex tremendously. And more or less, it was just like I knew I was doing more damage than I was. So I bought this car pre-COVID, about 2.5 years ago. This is that point in time where you get to listen to me drone on and on and on about how when I bought the car, how it was a bad deal, everything else. And there's more to come on that specific story because it's a really interesting story, and I feel like a lot of individuals that don't know what they're talking about, including me at that point in time, honestly get taken advantage of. And this can go for any vehicle you're looking to purchase, to buy, anything like that. But, you know, my experience has been, you know, pretty positive, and also with the negatives, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I rely on the internet, the sources that the interwebs provide me and everything else. And honestly, at the end of the day, you know, I made a bad choice. However, I'm living with that choice, and I'm learning a tremendous amount of things and skills that I never would have had. So in life, you take the good with the bad and you move on. We'll now get back to reality and talking about Stifflers
Again, you'll see
Subframe
here,
Connectors.
this is these still need a little bit of work on them from a weld standpoint. However, they're pretty much in for the most part. Just need some touch up. This is where I did some pretty mediocre work. However, again, learning the process, going through the motions. Pretty simple and easy install if you know what you're doing. It does take time. I'm happy to talk it out with anybody and everybody. Just a few measurements, things like that, but really not too bad of an install. I was more worried about catching the damn car on fire, and honestly, I shouldn't have even focused and worried on that at all.
Thanks again for watching. Next time we tackle hand sanding front bumpers, rear bumper, and the saline wing. Stay tuned.